Hey everybody, Dean Crisp here with you this morning, and we're going to talk about a thing called quiet quitting. And it's a phenomena that's kind of hitting law enforcement in a major way, where our officers and our employees are mentally and emotionally kind of withdrawn from the workplace. Now, there's a lot of reasons for that. Public scrutiny, lack of support, the COVID situation, post George Floyd, where trust is really not there from either the leadership or from the community. And as a result, the psychological safety of our employees has taken a hit. When that happens, people really don't realize it, but they kind of start lessening their effort and commitment at work. And when that happens, you get this quiet quitting. Now, we've got to really make sure that our employees don't get there, because if they are there, we got to help them get out of it, because it can cause all types of bad things, not only in the workplace, but in the community. Now, you take, for example, two things are happening right now in law enforcement that are of major concern. We're growing a generation of people who do not believe that cops are that good. And when that happens, you got a total disengagement from an entire generation. We got to do something about that. When you think about the consequences of that generation really not thinking cops are good, it just is far-reaching bad consequences. Now, the second thing that happened is we're forming bad work habits. When people form bad work habits, before you know it, they are just doing things at a low level. Their effort and commitment is extremely low. Now, let's talk about a couple of things that can really help us. One, you got to open up lines of communication. You got to be honest with people. You got to let them know, yes, we're going to support you, but do the right things. Now, that's a very hard concept to make sure that people understand they're being supported. Increase the trust level at work. You got to spend more time with people. If you're going to stop that concept of quiet quitting, you got to give people a reason to stop that. You got to increase trust. You have got to open up lines of communication, and you got to let them know they're appreciated. Now, that's a starting point, but what I want you to do is we're going to have a podcast on quiet quitting. I want you to also take a look at that, but I want you to also look at the blog this week. It's such an important conversation we need to have about quiet quitting in the workplace. It is really hurting law enforcement and our communities. Let's put a stop to this quiet quitting.